After 1 hour and 22 minutes of fucking with audio equipment, welcome to Kill the Computer. My name is Caleb. Every week I am joined by my co-host, June. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, on that last hour and a half or so, I've been sipping on a little probiotic soda pop. I have a little caffeine also. I've been chilling. It's been great, but we're back. We're here. We finally made it. There's nothing harder. Again, we say this every once in a while. There's nothing harder than podcasting. There's nothing harder than this. Yeah.
Those mud men got nothing on us, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty good. Like we were talking during our our setup period. I have now what I believe is like the perfect tech stack, and that is it will be gone this week. Finally, I'm getting rid of my all my Apple phone devices. And I have like what we talked about on the Woke 2 episode, the like phone sized e-reader. I got one based off of their recommendation. And it's a total game changer. All my messages are in one place. I can't doom scroll on it, but I can still
beautiful.
You know what I mean? It's so nice. And then I actually read books on it and news and whatever. It's really nice. And then I just have my shitty little flip phone. So finally good.
So tech minimalism, it sort of is the way, is what I'm learning. Like dumbifying your entire life, dumbing down everything is really the move. I saw an ad recently that not in person, just someone took a photo of it of a iPhone Nano. Like people are refurbishing and selling iPhone or iPod Nanos and selling them, and like there's a big ad and it like sort of blew up, and it's like we are yearning for an older age of technology and like awareness of the world.
Yeah, because everything sucks now. Like everything's so bad. Like we just want to go back. Like it was kind of a mistake. I did buy, I think I told you before, I bought that refurbished iPod Classic off that like Ukrainian guy.
Yeah.
That was kind of nuts, but like, you know, it doesn't have Bluetooth, so like it's like and it's not like updated software, so like getting music onto it is a fucking pain in the ass. So like I don't know.
See, it's just secure. You're just you took Kamala Harris's recommendations. Don't use Bluetooth. You're being responsible is what you're doing.
I am. But you know what I will say is like my screen time is down like 60%. I'm getting my executive function is through the roof. My house is clean. I'm working out. Like I'm eating right. I'm meal prepping, dude. It's great. It's like finally nice to like be a semi-functional adult again instead of just being like, haha, I know 7 different concurrent TikTok dramas or whatever. You know what I mean? So,
you broke out of the Matrix.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. Today we are also joined by the guest of what might be my favorite episode we've ever done on this computer. The hardest thing I've ever laughed was when you were on last time, Charles, and that was
man, thank you.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was the day of the AWS outage and all those guys got stuck in their pods. Remember that?
Oh, of course.
Dude. Oh my god.
I couldn't stop laughing about that. I still laugh about that event. It's still one of the funniest things. I'm still in that 8 Sleep subreddit, and every once in a while I'll still see them posting their wet pods that looks like they like pissed the pods.
I can't do that, Dave.
No, it's the best subreddit. One of the best subreddits.
It's so good. We had a couple of people like that reply. I guess I get it. You know, we had a couple people that kind of replied on wherever variously. They're like, "Come on, guys, it wasn't that funny." And to those people, I would say, you are wrong. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Wrong. I have to say, if anything is a judge of someone's sense of humor, it is whether they found it that fun.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you're like, I don't think it's funny that someone got computer locked in a wet bed, you have to write them off.
It's also just funny to me too, because it's like who it happened to, you know what I mean? Like these people that for years we've been told like, oh, they're the computer geniuses, this whole new class of aristocracy of these fucking guys, and then they can't figure out how to unplug their bed, dude. Like it was just it's the perfect thing that ever. It's like the perfect thing for this moment. I don't know.
I'm crying again. I cried in that episode. I have tears down my face again just thinking about this shit.
The one comment that made me laugh so hard was just the one word: unplug.
No, it's like all of this shit, right? Like what we're going to be talking about in this episode, of course, but like even like I don't know if you guys saw there was an article I think in Wired recently of there was a Waymo that just stopped in the middle of the road and was blocking police cars.
Yeah.
They were trying to get somewhere. And it's like this Waymo was just in the way and it wouldn't move. Like it's crazy.
I love every Waymo story. My all-time favorite Waymo story. And again, if you don't think it's funny, I don't trust you. And like I could see there is one subset of people who can find it not funny, and you will quickly figure out who it is. But there was a Waymo parking lot. And so there were like 40 Waymos moving a foot and honking at each other and flashing lights. And there was no way, like, no one could figure out how to remotely shut them off. So if you lived within a block of that parking lot, you can find it not funny. Right? But some guy shot video of it from his window of these 40 Waymos honking and like not quite bumping into each other this confined space. And it was like someone herded the ghosts in Pac-Man into a corner. Right? There's no way to not think that's hilarious. And I actually saw a Waymo, like I was in Phoenix last week, and they're all over, like Waymo cabs.
Oh, God.
And like they seem to be driving sort of normally, and like it was very weird to have them integrated into the landscape, especially when I at first thought one of them was like the Google Maps car driving by, and I'm like, did Google Maps just catch me like scratching my foot while reading a book in front of this poor guy's Airbnb? like every time someone runs his address, they're going to see some fat old guy playing with his foot.
Did you ever end up checking? Did you ever?
No, it was a Waymo. It was a Waymo.
Waymo.
Like I just thought, and I've had that happen before. We were once having plumbing work done, and the photo of my house on Google Maps for like a year had just like a toilet next to my steps.
That's so awesome.
Holy shit.
I think my favorite Waymo that I ever saw was the one where there was flooding and the Waymo just drove directly into the water. That's so good, dude.
No, these are, it's so funny. Like, it's taken away jobs from people in already like a really bleak gig economy that is like depressive and demonic and evil. But it's like, goddamn, I gotta say, some Waymo things are really fucking funny. This technology is just absurdly, like, it's just not ready.
It's just more relatable to me because, like, the Waymo yearns to die, just like me, Or like the one, did you see the one where it drove onto the train tracks and refused to get off? Did you see that one? All the Waymos are programmed to want to die. It's so good.
I heavily doubt that there is AGI. We are not at AGI yet. But the thing that does make me start to question that is AI does seem to know that it wants to die, which is the most human thing that an AI could possibly do.
It's
like
very
the Onion headline.
It was created in our image.
Yeah. We might have AGI. The first day we see AI death gets hit by a train, we'll know. That'll be it.
It's like that Onion headline. We taught this chimpanzee the meeting Americans politics and it shot itself or whatever.
Fun fact, I have to say, everyone thinks that's an Onion headline. That's a hard drive headline, actually. That is not. That is a hard drive headline.
You know what I was going to say? I'll cut that, but you know what? We got to leave that in for the record.
We got to leave it in. Yeah, that is sadly, I wish that was an Onion headline, but it's not. It's one of my favorite just jokes generally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Called you out, Caleb. You thought you knew. You thought you understood. Called out.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm joining that chimp in a couple of Waymos after we're done recording. Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about how this, I guess, stupidity of tech is now infiltrating your profession, Charles. Why don't you introduce yourself and your background to our listeners, and then we'll get into this.
Sure. I'm Charles Starr. I've done a bunch of legal podcasting. I was one of the guys on Mike Dicta back in the day, and then later I had my own thing called Hostile Witness, which you've never heard of, did not listen to. I don't hold it against you on the record. And ALAB, of course. I joined ALAB for the last, I don't know, 8 or 9 episodes of that run. Not dead, but not exactly alive.
There's a limbo situation. It can go either way. Yeah.
There's a limbo situation there. But so I talk a lot about law, and I go on everyone's podcast to talk about legal stuff. And so the original thing, and it's so funny, these things just expand. And Andy will tell you, Wyatt Privilege will tell you that I always expand whatever the brief is on any particular episode.
Yeah.
And they hate it because they were very good about outlining stuff and wanting to keep the topics tight. And I'm like, how about this other thing I thought of? Because I'm, always thinking of things that make things harder.
You got more things to say. You got more.
Yeah, exactly. And so originally we were just going to talk about the absolute fucking cock up of all the lawyers getting fucked for using AI in their briefs, because the fact, the opinions are mostly funny because it's like watching a Keystone Cops version of lawyers, and it's especially funny when it's from big prestigious firms.
Yeah.
It's fucked up when it's the government, and it's really funny when it's Joe Bag of Donuts who just doesn't know how to stop digging their grave deeper. Right? Which is a lot
fairly
of them.
Common, it seems.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Way too common.
Yeah, and so that was the original thing. And then, the news just sort of took over, and so now we've also got to talk a little, it's on today's, we're recording on the Trans Day of Visibility, where Gorsuch symbolically said, fuck you, by dropping Childs versus Salazar, which allows, it pretends to be narrow in the way that all very portentous cases like to pretend that they're narrow, about really hemming in, as the best way to put it, Colorado's ban on talk conversion therapy.
Yeah,
by pretending it's super narrow.
Yeah, from what I understand, they're like, well, it's not, this is what they are saying, it's not all conversion therapy, but it is still conversion therapy, but if you talk, it's not it's not like electroshock therapy. That's not covered. But again, you're what you're saying is correct. Is that it's they're sort of, it's wishy-washy. It sounds like it's
basically a lot of states have banned conversion therapy because it is all the reputable medical opinions on this are that it doesn't work and it's traumatic and in many cases physically abusive as well because of electroshock or other pain aversion methods, or it's not just therapy talk, it's you worm, really abusive, genuinely specifically abusive, as opposed to sort of it is abusive in toto. They're it's bad, right? There's no doubt that it's bad. And so what the Supreme Court does, and what the plaintiffs did, sponsored by the American Family Foundation, a far-right, hyper-Christian litigation house, is they find what they consider the perfect plaintiff, which is a woman who practices in Colorado, and she says, look, I have my practice is if a gay trans minor comes to me and says, I'm comfortable with this, but I'm having trouble with depression and navigating social spaces and the pressure that society puts on me, I will affirm that and I will help the patient along their way. But if someone comes to me and says, I have these feelings that trouble me and I don't want to be gay or I don't want to be trans, then I will work with the patient in that way, which I don't know that I believe her, but on the facts, that's what the facts are. So you have this dream plaintiff who pretends to be affirming of committed gay and trans youth but also wants to shepherd them back to the path if they wish, if these are intrusive thoughts. And so
it's sort of like that far right fantasy of just like, oh, it's a phase. Oh, they're led astray. Oh, they're being tempted by the devil. They just have to just get in the right mindset. They won't be gay.
Of that.
Yeah.
All of that. And so once you frame it in the context of this dream plaintiff, then Gorsuch can say things like, it's just speech. It's just talking. All she does, all her practice is talking. And you can't ban talking. And
Jesus.
Like, that's just speech. You can't ban, because they say if it's legal to be affirming of their nonconformity, then it can't be illegal to try to guide them as they wish to gender conformity or sex or, sexual orientation conformity. So they create this mirror that then they say simplifies the case. They're like, and one of the things about First Amendment litigation is there's a lot of fucking games to turn things that aren't particularly speech-like into expressive speech, which is good, right? That's how you end up with pornography being legal, because there's a lot of act in the speech act of pornography.
Yeah.
And so it's good in a lot of ways for it to be expansive. So there's like a baby in bathwater situation about how you talk about this. Like, you can't be too glib, right? So there are good reasons for speech to be expansive. But one of the things is that it is medical practice, and they can legislate medical practice. And even though this is primarily speech-based, and it is in this case, they say it's exclusively speech-based, one of the things that KBJ Jackson says in her dissent is, let's not kid ourselves here. It is not equally legal for the state to prohibit doctors from saying smoke as it is from them encouraging them to say don't smoke, right? Like, it would be completely legitimate for them to say it is not a speech act for you to encourage cancer-causing smoking in your patients, even if you think it's true. Right?
So logical. Also, I'm crazy. Like, I feel crazy. She's the only one. It was an 8-1 ruling, right?
It was 8-1, and Sotomayor actually signed onto the majority opinion, and then also signed onto a Kagan concurrence. And Kagan's concurrence is the kind of thing that I think she does a lot that I tend to find a little too clever by a half, where she's like, I agree that because it's one-sided, it becomes a content-based restriction, right? The law says you can affirm them, you can't convert them. So, like, they set up this polarity where you're being content discriminating. And so she's like, but if it didn't do that, we might have other questions about it. And so she creates, and every time she does this, commentators are like, oh, she's doing this so that the conservatives will blah, blah. And every time the conservatives just fuck her in the ass. Like, they don't follow the logic trap that she's trying to set for them, because they have a cheat code for the logic trap, which is not caring. It's the most obvious thing in the world that's the right wing's playbook at this point. I mean, just look at where we're at now. Like, you can, the ultimate right wing code is just to intentionally, knowingly lie and have everyone on your side just on board with that lie. Yeah. And understand that they're creating this new reality based off of this intentional lie. That is the entire thing. That is their entire movement. Yeah, and it's especially true on all the gay rights and trans rights cases, is they find these people like the baker and the printer and all, and it's all just
even
fucking
the
bullshit.
The detransitioner cases too that have been going around. It's always, whenever there is a detransitioner court case, it's always the same 4 people that they ship to other states to participate in different cases. Why? They're just how right wingers will always be they're busing voters across state lines. Yeah. It's that's what they're doing with these detransitioners. They're literally flying them to different states.
It's the same thing as it's like the exact same 2 or 3 people who are experts in voter fraud. And every time any judge looks at their evidence, they look at it and they're like, this is all nonsense. And they like bar them from presenting the testimony. Because it has no statistical validity, and it's based on one supposition, on another supposition, on another supposition that just never matches the real world. And so whenever anyone scratches the surface of it a little, they throw it out. They disqualify them as experts. And then, the Republicans put him on like a fucking voter board,
and then they become like a chief justice or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. They become the health human services, whatever that fucking HHS position.
Yeah.
They get escalated into the system.
Right. They get put on the vaccine board, which is exactly what happened. And that's why a judge just threw out the vaccine recommendations, because he's like, these are all hacks and dummies who don't have any expertise, which is the opposite of what this is supposed to be. And so whatever. And so it is hard, other than the real world, realistic interpretation of what these justices are actually like. Childs was written in a way to look narrow and sane and make anyone who criticizes it look a little crazy. Because you can always quote pieces of it and go, oh, it's this very narrow ruling with this perfect plaintiff. And it's like, if you don't see it, and I'm not making a slippery slope argument. I'm saying they are building a staircase. Mm-hmm. And this is just the first stair that they're using. And even if Gorsuch is sincere, because he's the one who wrote Clayton County v. Bostock, who in a very sort of bloodless way was like, look, sex discrimination is sex discrimination, and a count of sex includes, trans rights in this, transsexual identity in this very specific, linguistically precise way. Even if he's that same guy, the difference between Clayton v. Bostock v. Clayton County and now is that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died and was replaced by Amy Coney Barrett. And so Gorsuch can't even win that case now. Right?
Yeah.
Gorsuch had Ginsburg's vote then and does not now. So even if he's sincere in this case that he got a couple of liberal justices to sign on to, he's going to lose at the next stage, 5-4, and write an angry dissent about how narrow Childs was and how they're fucking him over. And again, they will very happily fuck him over.
Okay, so wait, you're saying, maybe I might have missed part of this. You're saying that this case is going to fall apart upon further push.
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that when they push it farther, even if Gorsuch is sincere about how narrow he wants this to be, he will be in the dissent when Amy Coney Barrett votes to go further.
Right. Okay.
Like that seems to be the most likely, because they don't seem particularly amenable to trans rights in any way. And so I just don't have a lot of faith that as narrow as this is, you can rely on its narrowness in any way other than Robert's typical paper cut strategy of moving just a little bit at a time and taking rights away very broadly in the end.
It's genuinely insane that this unelected group of people are just like basically, especially since Trump's first term, just slowly needling away just basic rights, like basic human rights and guarantees that we've had for barely 50 years in some cases. In some cases for barely 10 years, not even federally. Like this is fucking, if this doesn't push people, seeing how the Supreme Court functions currently, if that doesn't push people into a more radical politic, I genuinely do not understand what could at this point. If seeing these cases, I think it has, especially for the common liberal. I've seen I don't know if you've seen different liberals at No Kings protests where there's a 70-year-old woman Like they are extremely radical now. Like the average like 70-year-old woman is talking about like
we should the president.
Yeah. They say stuff like that. They're like they say guillotines. We got to build guillotines. It's like you are 70 years old. That's crazy. You're a boomer.
Yeah, and they're like, but I learned carpentry in high school. Like we took real hands-on classes. I can make that.
My name is Ethel. I'm 82 years old. I grew up writing cursive, and I think we should kill Donald Trump.
That's a real quote. Caleb didn't say that. That's a real. You'll have to find Ethel. That's go find that. We will not burn our source on that. Yeah,
and we're not going to say a last name.
But no, literally, I think that has like a pretty across the board. I mean, no greater example of like a high profile case of this is the I've Had It podcast ladies. I love them. I love them both. They've been like, I was just like a standard liberal. Now I'm like revolution now. And it's like, okay, damn. I'm fine with that.
They're like teaching you how to make fertilizer bombs.
That's they talk to Cory Booker in their Cory Booker interview about that.
All of them are like, I don't think Tor is secure enough. And like all of these people have like learned like the double deep dark web in ways that I've never even heard of.
Like these people do now.
They're the ones who could figure out how to get Riverside to recognize my microphone.
So surprisingly, though, this case, unlike I think some other ones that you've prepared for us, as far as we know, no AI involved in this ruling or case at all. There's no ChatGPT involved in this one.
That's right.
They came
no
to this
computer
decision...
would ever write like Neil Gorsuch.
That could be a good or a bad thing. Probably a bad thing. Yeah.
No, I mean he does write a little like Commander Data. Like there's just no soul in any of it.
Yeah. No, that dude, I thought that dude was dead. I thought Neil Gorsuch was dead. I forget he's still...
He's not even not dead. He's not like 40, even particularly old. No, he's not quite that young, but he's got to be in like the late 50s, early 60s range. He's not like, I can't even call him old. Really. I can't get it.
He just has like the aura and name of some guy that like died in 1890s. So he's like, he was around with Jefferson. Like he was like a Jeffersonian era guy.
Yeah, right. And it's funny, like actually his mom was Reagan's EPA, head of the EPA.
My God.
God.
So and she was like an environmental like, slash and burn. Like it was just as bad. So
she is quite literally the reason that my hometown has a nickname, the Tacoma Aroma. That's her fault.
That sounds right.
If you don't know that story, it's gone now. The aroma has been solved, but for decades we had that thing because like they just gutted all the regulations, and so like a bunch of the industrial companies down here were just like dumping toxic chemicals into the Puget Sound, and like at low tide it would smell really funky, and it was because Tacoma's a historically poorer and blacker city than Seattle. They would just all the companies would just dump all their toxic chemicals down here.
Yeah,
that was her fault.
Christ. You know what we need?
Right.
Less environmental regulations. That's what we need.
Yep.
Okay. Let's.
Go ahead.
So
the second, do you want to get into the AI now? Because this is like it ends up being kind of a palate cleanser.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
please tell me. Oh my God, please. Conversion therapy, it's bad. I think in summary, let's hope we in a couple of years we have a completely different Supreme Court, maybe.
Yeah.
We do something crazy there.
Yeah. Like there's someone it's gotta get like I never have any fucking hope for anything. But it's like it doesn't matter. That's like all it is a rallying cry. You gotta fight I guess the only thing is you have to have some fucking reason to fight. Anyway, dumb shit.
Yeah.
Dumb shit is the case has just come so goddamn fast and furious now of attorneys who get in trouble. Because now anytime someone gets caught, it gets widely publicized. And some of them are funnier than others. I mean, I like shout out, and I didn't even do such a deep dive. I found a bunch of things that I remembered. I like followed a couple of strands. There's a guy, a French academic named Damien Charlot. He's not even a lawyer as far as I know. I think he's more on the tech side, but he's gotten into this, and he has collected more than 1,200 cases worldwide. You know, people send them to him now. 1,200 cases of courts either sanctioning or considering sanctioning attorneys.
This was particularly helpful because this isn't just people who used it. This is people who have been punished for using it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's tip of the iceberg on people who use it for various reasons, and there may even be useful application. But
well, if you heard, I don't know if you've read the article. It was Jason Colbert in 404 sometime last year wrote that. We talked to 18 lawyers who got caught using Chat GPT or whatever. And
I did not read that. I want to see that.
Dude, I'll send it to you. Like zero remorse. I'd have to find it. It's not a recent article, but they, I think a lot of them just really thought that they just overestimated the capability of the software. And one thing that when we were talking
constantly comes up.
Totally. And like one thing that I saw or that we talked about, Charles, before this episode, even before we even ran into the microphone issue, was a pattern of multiple lawyers that used AI to try and fix mistakes initially made by AI.
Oh yeah, that's what's so great. What's so great about all of these cases is there's always more than one fuck up.
Yeah.
And they're not always both AI, but there is almost always more than one fuck up. I mean, the first case that exploded onto the scene, the first time a federal court actually wrote an opinion because they were confronted with it and someone got caught, was I think it was in the Southern District of New York. I've messed that up on my notes, but it was a case called Mata v. Avianca. And Mata was a guy who flew on an Avianca flight. He said that he got rammed or something by the drink cart, basically, and it injured his knee. Okay. That's the underlying case.
All right. So he had his knee just out in the lane.
Yeah,
is what it sounds like. He was sticking his leg out.
He was sticking his leg out.
This guy's trying to get a payday. He's slipping at Burger King. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't, without judging, just take the case as it comes. The guy's got his leg in the aisle, and the flight attendant was concerned with the safety of different passengers and just busted his leg up. Right. So whatever. So he gets hurt. Now, the issue is, and none of this matters. This is a MacGuffin, except that it becomes the fight. Statute of limitations on the injury in New York, which was the law that he thought should apply, was 3 years. Statute of limitations under the Montreal Convention on international whatever, and this was a flight from El Salvador to New York. Under the Montreal Convention, the statute of limitations is only 2 years. Mm. He sued between 2 and 3 years after the injury. So the question is, does New York apply? And if New York law doesn't apply, is there anything that extends the Montreal statute of limitations? Enter the plaintiff's lawyer. 2 guys. One guy named Schwartz and one guy named LaDuca.
Okay.
Schwartz they work together. I can't tell if they're in the same firm or if they share a suite of offices or whatever. But Schwartz is licensed to practice in New York State court, but not federal court. Right? You have to make a special application to be able to practice in federal court. And he doesn't do it very often, so he never bothered. LaDuca is licensed to practice in federal court. So Schwartz says, look, I sued them in New York court. The airline moved it to federal court. I can't keep representing him. Can you take over? I'll do all the work. And LaDuca says, sure. So that's fuck up one.
Okay.
Because what happens is Schwartz does all his research on the Montreal Convention on ChatGPT.
Come on.
Oh, boy.
And LaDuca signs whatever Schwartz gives him.
He didn't even look.
He doesn't check it. He doesn't read it. There were 11 fake cases in it.
Wait, ChatGPT made up cases to cite it?
Yeah, just made up
as
cases.
Evidence?
And he just cited them, and he cited, he gave quotes from them. And, of course, Avianca's lawyers figure it out. Because, he says he finds all these cases. Apparently, Avianca went through a bankruptcy and then came out of bankruptcy. And so he found a case that said, we didn't sue while Avianca was in bankruptcy, and the bankruptcy tolls the statute of limitations. But ChatGPT just made up those cases. There are no such cases.
No way, dude.
So, first, Mata loses on the merits because there's no way to extend the statute of limitations. And if it's only 2 years, he loses because he didn't sue in time. But now Schwartz and LaDuca are both in trouble because Avianca tells the court these cases are fake. And so he checks himself against ChatGPT. He's like, are these real? Give me the full text of these cases. And it's like, in this case, it's a lawyer who doesn't pay for Westlaw. Right? That's why he's using ChatGPT, because Westlaw is expensive. He doesn't pay for it. And so and back then...
And Westlaw, for context, is just a bunch of case law that you can search.
It's a very expensive legal research database, right? It is genuinely very expensive for people who, don't have free access. Students get free access. Government employees, I think, get free access. I, as an I adjunct a class, so I, through the school, get limited free access, which I can't use for my real job, but I can use for this. Right. So, they then check. They're like, what are the courts like? These are fake. So the fucking guy goes back to ChatGPT and he goes, give me the court wants the whole case. Could you give me the whole case?
And it's
so ChatGPT prints out more bullshit.
No, it just kept going. I cannot believe this. I just
ChatGPT doesn't say no.
I understand the Westlaw service is expensive and you have to make do with what you got, especially if you're not a federal lawyer. Lawyers, as far as I'm aware, probably don't make a lot of money on all levels.
No. I mean, you can make just as much money operating in state court, but you know, he's like a guy with a shingle. He's not like a fancy, you know.
And the fact that you would still just be like, you know what the best next option is? ChatGPT, the service that's known for lying about everything. That makes bullshit up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Charles, I don't know if you saw this. This is a bit of an aside. I apologize, but another legal service, it does other stuff too that normies might find useful if you're a weird pervert. But LexisNexis also came out with a LexisNexis AI tool. Have you seen this?
Yeah, and Westlaw has one too called Co-Counsel.
So
I think maybe it's LexisNexis's VLex, because the VLex comes up a lot. No, VLex comes up a lot in these cases. So I don't know if that's the LexisNexis equivalent.
It sounds
Westlaw's
Co-Counsel.
Right. But Lex is just Latin for law, so it could be anything, you know.
Sure.
But in any event, so they turn in full cases, which aren't real cases. They're like, sometimes it would only give me excerpts, and that didn't set off alarm bells. Right? So they just submit this bullshit to the court, and so the court found bad faith. They said that LaDuca, the federal attorney, was guilty of conscious avoidance, because when you get called out, you got to do now you got to check.
Yeah.
Even if it's excused the first time, now you have to check. And Schwartz should have been much more conscious. After the court is like, wait, are these fake? Don't go ask ChatGPT a second time, stupid.
Yeah, what do you mean?
At the time, courts were really forgiving. because they're like, this is new. Maybe these people don't understand. Maybe they think it's just like a search engine. And so we'll be a little generous with them. And so they sanctioned each of the, I think they sanctioned them $5,000. The firm got embarrassed. They got very embarrassed, but they didn't refer them to the bar or anything like that.
If I was if I was Avianca and found out that these were just made up, I would be howling, dude. If I was, I would be fucking screaming at this shit. I cannot imagine the room when they found this shit.
They definitely do. I mean, this goes back, I graduated law school in like 98. This story is probably from like 2000, 2001. The one time that I have like totally eaten shit is when you're using Westlaw, there's a signal that tells you when a case has been overruled. And I cited a case that had been overruled, and none of the people supervising me caught it. Right? They trusted me. And that comes up a lot in these cases where one person trusts another and the courts act like that's like some kind of breach of duty. But I'm telling you, everyone trusts everyone else's work or this shit would fall apart.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Like you have to have some kind, but when it's AI, they're just like not forgiving at all. They're like, at least you got to at least ask to see the case. So I somehow missed that it had been overruled. It wasn't a super important case, but we got the response, and there's one footnote that says it's been overruled. And I pull up the case again, and that little fucking red flag is on it. And I wanted to put a gun in my mouth. I went to the partner, and I ate like a bucket of shit in front of him. I was like, I am so sorry. I don't know how this happened.
Oh, no.
And none of these people seem like, until the court steps on their neck, like nearly apologetic enough.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds bad. That sounds like, I don't think I've experienced some embarrassing things, but that's like a different, like, there's nothing worse than being embarrassed about like work you do for a job. Like you can have like a personal embarrassment, but there's nothing worse than like, work shit. But I guess, would you rather have that experience or be found out for using ChatGPT and rely on totally made up shit?
I mean, look, my boss was super understanding. They're like, shit happens to everyone. Like, don't let it happen again. You know what I mean? Like, you fucked up. No one thought that it was like a reflection. Because, I mean, I wrote a lot for this case, and I had one case that I blew
Mistakes happen,
by not catching the flag. And so they're like, so it goes. It wasn't important enough to matter to the case, and they did not kill me over it.
Well,
right. They dealt with it, right? Like, okay, we lost that point. But since there was no support for the point anyway, it was mostly just embarrassing. You know, we said something that happened that we would have lost on without even bothering to argue.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think going back to the AI examples, though, is something I find interesting, especially still to this day. I've been watching, there's this guy who makes videos where he basically just, I think his name is Husk. He makes videos where he talks to ChatGPT. Yeah, he just like sort of has these like really basic conversations with ChatGPT, and he just like lies to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, of course, because it just makes stuff up. It's not like a smart, like thinking thing. Mm-hmm. It will just lie to him. And there's people, if you ever check replies in any of these videos, there are people that seemingly believe, like, are questioning why it would lie to him. And it's like, why? Like, it's like, I still think people don't understand. Like, the average person at large understands that it's not choosing to lie because it's thinking. It's not thinking. It is just like, shoving out bullshit because that's what it's programmed to do.
It's programmed to say whatever the most likely thing to say in response is.
Especially to satisfy your desire, whatever you ask,
And if you prompt it with bullshit, garbage in, garbage out. Like, that is what it is. It is not a fact checker.
No, and a lot of people use it like that.
It is a support system. It is a hype man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, no good.
Hey guys, it's Caleb. This has been a preview of a premium episode. There's still over an hour left because this was a really long one. If you want to finish it, you can listen to the rest over at patreon.com/killthecomputer. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
The computer.